Guys, look at all the teams that LeBron could possibly end up. It's probably going to be the Cavs, bro. And that's why, in part, I'm just tired. I don't care about the story no more. This is a 41-year-old dude we're talking about. But it's still one of the bigger stories of the offseason. And I think we can actually talk about this from a different angle than most, right? The LeBron fatigue and how Rich Paul factors into all this.
As you're going through this process, and I'm saying to LeBron, like, you really have to think this through.
I cannot lie, this is when I stopped tuning in, bro. When Rich Paul had this big old white board where LeBron's name is at the center of it as if it's the sun in the solar system.
The way the league is going right now, we thought Giannis was going to be the biggest news of the summer.
Man, this summer's been bananas.
Right, and now it's changed.
You don't even remember that LaMelo got traded. Ja doesn't even pop up on the radar.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And so when you think about that, and then you think about Melo, and now Jaylen Brown, right? So I prepared this board just to take you through a little bit of it. But again,
you know what's crazy, Rich? I'm sorry to interrupt. The biggest story is still LeBron.
Yeah, he's still the face of the league.
What they're not saying out loud, I probably think they know this, is him being the biggest story this year is for a different reason altogether. We're anticipating that he's going to retire within the next year. In past years, it was different. This isn't LeBron in 2010 or LeBron in 2014 or LeBron in 2018. This is not any of those LeBrons that was actually in his prime, that was actually really good at the sport.
Being 42 and still playing at this level is insane.
Curious how LeBron's going to look with a smaller role on some of these contending teams, but the story is only as big as it is right now because we know it's his last season. Wait, I just realized all those years, there was a World Cup happening, just like there is one happening this year. Yeah, I can't lie. That's actually a crazy coincidence. The way the story gets told by Rich Paul is by looking at this big white board that he has all these teams, and there's specific teams where he lists out the starting lineups without LeBron on it.
Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, Embiid.
They're missing, all they really need here is a power forward who can think the game and shoot.
That's why he's in the middle. Mitchell, Wiggins, Giannis, Bam. Whew. Mitchell, Harden, Mobley, Allen, Murray, Johnson, Gordon, Jokic, and you got LaMelo.
What's funny about this isn't even the names that he has as the starting lineups of the teams that he's most interested in. It's the names he has in the periphery of all that, like Dallas of all teams.
Dallas and Masai. Now, in Dallas, they got Oil, they got Golf, you got Macau in the Sands group, and then with Masai, you got the whole continent of Africa. A lot comes with Dallas and Masai, okay?
I guess this is a brand opportunity too now. Now you're thinking about expanding your brand into Africa or, having investments into Sands.
Don't forget
about
way, Steph
why did you?
Drake.
Here's what's crazy. Okay, so this tells me a lot.
This doesn't tell you anything.
You're playing four-dimensional chess right now?
You know what I hate about this pod the most, though, is Max Kellerman's quote-unquote contributions to it. All he does is glaze Rich Paul or says something that everybody knows. But there is something he did in this pod episode that is interesting when we got to the Golden State part of it, because all he had to write on the board was Steph and Dre, and Max pointed that out.
Everyone's reporting, and I know you say, what do they know? It's Cleveland or Golden State. Golden State was the big one. But you, of all these things, you just have this Golden State up in the corner. So either you're doing that purposely to throw us off the scent, or Golden State really is not as much of a front runner as people think, or is not as much in the lead as people think.
You can think whatever you think. This is just my board. You decide what you want to think.
And this is when I realized, bro, I can't lie, we're just being taken in for a ride that, is only there to benefit LeBron and his branding. Like, this is dumb.
If the Knicks hadn't have won, there would be no board.
He'd be going to the Knicks.
He'd be going to the Knicks.
Interesting.
But the fact that they won,
I always thought that eliminated them.
I can't lie, bro. This is just stupid. This story is all dumb. He's dragging this out, him and LeBron, right? They're dragging this out just to get their names out there from one last summer, knowing that when he retires, he's not going to get this opportunity again. It's just, what the hell are we doing?
Rich, what's your timetable here?
I don't have one. I don't put a timetable on things. A decision like this, he has to take his time and make it whenever he get ready. I think it's not a game. It's not something that's a gimmick or you're trying to.
This Rich Paul dude is a squirmy fella, bro. This dude is very squirmy, bro. It hasn't even been 15 minutes since I've been listening to these videos of him talking. And I cannot get a grasp of what this dude is trying to say at first glance. I have to think about it. Like, bro, what is he trying to say? What is he insinuating? Is he lying? He's probably not telling the whole story. He definitely isn't telling the whole story. This guy, Rich Paul, is squirming his way through every one of these questions. And I can't lie. Shout out Hannah Storm for actually asking this dude, about the priorities, about what exactly the timetable is. Because I can't lie, bro. You cannot just be squirming around. Bro, I'm pissed.
If you just could for us tick off then what exactly their priorities are, like what you're looking for, what LeBron is looking for.
Not to talk so much about him, but what I try to look for is just an understanding the player, just knowing, look, there's a seriousness that comes with this. He's in year 24, not 4. And Danny knows, he's played with him before. There's a competitiveness that comes. We know how hard it is to win championships. No roster, no organization is guaranteed to win a champion. You want to have an opportunity come late April and early May to compete at a high level and give yourself the best chance of winning. He's not chasing the ring. You hear these things like, why do we have to chase? He got 4. There's nothing to chase. He's not chasing the ghosts or anything like that.
What I'm getting from a lot of this is basically Rich Paul and company, LeBron James as representatives, are basically just scouring, sticking things at the wall, and seeing what their options are. Optionality, baby! That's the name of the game. I don't think they're actually trying to win a championship, like he said, but I also don't think he's actually trying to make a move that is for basketball reasons at all. Like, I honestly think, bro, the Dallas Africa thing, that's just a throwaway. That was just them thinking about the outside of the NBA, right? But LeBron James, it's clear he's thinking more so about what's the best way for him to exit his career.
Look, I think when you have a player like him, he unlocks something on one of all 30 teams. The team he chooses, I don't know yet.
Right now, since this is the last summer probably that they can use free agency to their advantage to put their names out there, they're going to use it to their fullest advantage. They're probably going to wait for the World Cup to end in mid-July, and then that's when the announcement's going to come. Or, Rich Paul even said this recently as well. They would drag this out. They're willing to drag this out into August, okay? These dudes are clearly just trying to get one last big hurrah because LeBron James, this is why I think he's going to Cleveland. It's the farewell tour, baby. It would make the most sense for him to go back to his home, right? And I think Cleveland right now is going through the Harden extension talks, and that's probably why there isn't anything materializing. Their financial situation is a bit tight. They would have to trade Jared Allen to make the deal work, and I think that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for a lot of that to happen. But hey, until then, honestly, bro, I do not care. I'll be honest, bro. I do not care, bro. It's going to be interesting to see how LeBron does in his last season. Is he going to win a championship? I don't think that's what they even care about at this point. I think they're satisfied with what they got, bro. And I think it's going to be him riding it into the sunset, bro. Well, that's it. That's all I have to say about this matter. Have a good one. Peace out.